Do you know, I was reading the other week, in fact this week, might have been this week, could have been this week. Anyway, I was reading and I was about podcasts and how to do podcasts. And I read somewhere that the intro music should be between 15 and 30 seconds. And ours is, we've blown it. It's 31 seconds. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. It's been great. It'd be really helpful if I took you off mute as well. So
thanks very much. I was wondering why it was a one-man show.
I'm off to a flyer today. So, welcome, dear listener, to this. I'm going to have to introduce another piece of the Scottish vernacular here. What, call blimey? Fud. Actually, there is a resemblance to the great Elmer of Fud. Let's jump on the wabbit. Let's jump on the wabbit. I can't hear you singing. So
I'm singing inside.
I think it might be weeping. I think the word you're looking for is weeping, and thinking.
I'm trying not to show it.
And thinking, I've got other friends I could have invited onto this show, and why, Delilah?
Yeah, and Delilah turns out to be a bloke.
Well. Sorry about that too.
A bit like the song.
I might have lied in my CV. Lengthy though it was. Listen, welcome to the old Anorak radio podcast TV show thing. I am Chris Young, and this is the old Anorak himself,
Jim Lang.
Jim Lang, with the volume turned on and everything.
Yeah.
So
it's even unmuted.
Look, it's it's been anyway. So how are you doing, James? Don't you dare do that to me! Don't you do that to me, you cheeky little blighter!
Sorry, I had a little Norman Collier flashback there.
It was great. Oh, Norman Collier, where's he now? Oh, he's like everybody else from our bands, dead.
And even if he wasn't, we wouldn't be able to hear him.
Yes. At times.
At times, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the important times, like when he says, "Help, I'm drowning."
So does the faraway... Look, no, that's tangential beyond...
Okay.
What are we doing this week, James?
We are having our end-of-series fantasy gig.
Right.
So we've spent the last several weeks putting together our ideal fantasy bands for different genres. And this week the plan was to pick 5 of the musicians that we'd populated our various bands with, and to put them into a lineup for an ideal gig.
Right. Yeah, I did something like that.
Do you want to show us your first something?
Look, I've got an excuse. The teacher at my homework. No, right. No. Dog is my teacher. I shall not want. No, that's a different thing altogether. Right. So hold on. We haven't even said where the gig is. So let's build this in there. Of
course, that would be useful, wouldn't it?
Build this in the mind of the punter.
So less of a mind palace and more a mind venue.
Yes.
And that mind venue is going to have to be the Queen's Hall in Edinburgh.
Oh, nice. That's a lovely, lovely place.
Because initially this morning when I was just putting this together, I thought, the Ryman Auditorium. How about that? That's a nice looking venue.
Is that where they do sort of loads of sort of photocopying?
Well, that used to be the home of the Grand Old Opry.
Oh, right.
But you know what?
No.
I've only seen it on the telly. I've not been there. But the Queen's Hall.
Queen's Hall, Edinburgh. Be there.
That's a nice intimate venue.
Nice.
I say intimate. It takes I think about 800 or 900 folk.
Okay, that's plenty for atmosphere.
Yeah.
I love a party. Nothing.
No.
So
it's in Edinburgh terms, it's going to be considered one of the bigger venues.
Yeah. Cool. So there we are. Picture the scene. It's a rainy, snowy night in Edinburgh. the ha is coming in. It hasn't quite absorbed everybody. It's like a fog that comes in from the sea.
You keep gibbering, old pal. I'm going to change my glasses.
I haven't got that much. I haven't got that much prattle in me. I can't believe he's changing his glasses. So there we are at the Queen's. The fog is coming in. You're lucky if you can actually find the Queen's Hall because it's so foggy and there are people in the background saying things like, "I've never known a night like it, and I'm not looking forward to the journey home neither." Only in a more sort of Scottish, less piratey accent.
Yeah, because of course we're not all pirates.
That's good. Nicely blended and folded in there. I think that is a warning to all of us. Buy your music, guys and gals.
Yeah.
Is that what you were saying? Was that the message we were trying to get across?
Yes, of course.
Yes,
it was.
Yes. Steal less.
Otherwise, we'll stamp your forehead with a little cassette with an X with crossed bones on it. As in, copying kills or whatever the message used to be.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. So, anyway, here we are at the Queen's.
Yes, at the Queen's Hall.
And on comes Dolly Parton.
Oh, you're starting big.
I am starting. Actually, they're all big. So,
stop it. We're going 1970s too quickly here.
Anyway, so Dolly Parton, who I did have as a backing singer because I had to shoehorn her in somewhere, but no, she's there. She's got her. This is her band, but behind her, and she's got so much fantastic music.
She's your opening act.
She is. Now, for some reason, I decided to print off the lyrics to Jolene again because I just couldn't help myself. But I'm not going to go down that tangent. If you want me to go down that tangent, there is another episode of this that you can listen to. Okay? If you want to hear me banging on about misogyny and country music, this isn't the place. The other place is the country music special. So, off you go.
No, fantasy
actually,
band.
No, stay here. No, go afterwards. Anyway, but the first song is Jolene. It had to be Jolene because that song gets everybody, and everybody knows the words because who doesn't like a song that starts off with the same word 5 times over? And that. So we start off with Jolene, and that came out in 1973, and it was a song written about a bank teller that her husband fell in love with. But that, dear friends, is another story. So. We're all passionate. Do you want me to bang out all the 5 tracks that I've decided to choose? That
Go on, bang them all out.
So the second song I thought would be great because you want people sort of dancing in the aisles and you want people bouncing around. So you want 9 to 5, which was a song that came out to accompany the film of the same name in 1980, which was a very popular film. It was about the people going to work between 9 and 5 and thinking, what the hell am I doing with my life? But thankfully, we've now got the gig economy where people can now go to work between 9 and 9 and just work 24 hours and be told that they're working flexibly because that's what they want. Anyway, actually, what would you name the film? Working? Anyway, forever.
Yeah. Working for the man, like a dog.
So, right, so that's pulled everybody in. We're boogieing, we're all loose, and then I guess you want to start sort of loosening things up a bit, and you want to get sort of people's hearts into it. So you have "I Will Always Love You," which came out in 1973, which was used in the film The Bodyguard in 1992 with your Whitney Houston and your Kevin of Costner's. So there are 2 versions of the same song in that film, and it's, I don't know, it's a toss-up between the 2 because they're both fantastic. So yeah, I'd point you in that direction. So I've got my audience at the Queen's Hall, and they're with me all the way. Then, because they're all the same age as us, James, they're listening to the next track, which is "Love Is Like a Butterfly," as soft and gentle as a sigh, the multicolored. What do you think of when I talk about that song?
I think of Wendy Craig in the
That's
sitcom.
Exactly who I thought of. Wendy Craig, my first love. Well, one of my many first loves.
Yeah, one of my early ones as well.
Yeah.
One of those warm and fuzzy feeling sort of, appeals that wasn't as salacious as perhaps some of your pop music.
Yeah. Love's like
attractions might have been at the time.
Yeah, she was just, I don't know, she was brilliant, and just her and Jeffrey Palmer, what a great show, and the other two folk who
Nicholas Lyndhurst and the other bloke.
He might have been known forever as the other bloke.
But we're also forgetting Leonard, the guy in the park.
Oh yeah, Leonard. Yeah, I didn't like Leonard. I wanted him to be a bit more exciting, but
I kind of liked him, if I remember rightly at the time, and I wanted that to happen,
Yeah, me too. Yeah, because Jeffrey Palmer took it for granted, and with his dentistry. Yeah. I'm astounded you can remember Leonard's name. That was plucked from nowhere. That was brilliant.
Thanks very much. Keep talking.
Yeah. So we've got everybody in the crowd who are like us. They're just reminiscing and just loving this whole thing.
And we were at the back going, "Boo! We want Wendy Craig."
Wendy. So the fourth song, obviously, and this is a bit of a filler, but it's a nice song. It was written by the Bee Gees in 1983, and it's called "Islands in the Stream," that she sings with.
Are you going to wheel out Kenny for the duet?
Absolutely, you need Kenny for the duet, and so "Islands in the Stream." I'm not hearing you singing, James.
It's just like the record, man.
Get into the gig in this.
Anyways, when it's been scratched and it skips.
Yeah, actually, when it got broke and that big chunk came off it and moved. Anyway, I had to keep putting it back out. So, but interestingly, well, for me anyway, the B-side of this, when it was released in the US, was "I Will Always Love You." I mean, how crazy is that? Yeah, a brilliant song, B-side. So. And then finally, and I've broken all the rules here, but I think this is a great way for her to finish her little giglet for us, is "Let It Be."
The Beatles number.
Yeah, so I indulged in listening to this, and I love what's her face, and
Dolly.
Don't tell people. As long as I say what's her face, we're okay.
Sorry, but she's not listening. She's singing right now.
Okay. Anyway, I love her, and
but there's a but coming.
I was expecting the song. I think a number of people would think that "Let It Be" by Dolly Parton would be a bit shit, and it's not. It's great, and it gets even greater because it's got your Paul McCartney and your Ringo in it, which makes it even greater. Now, where I break the rules, James, and you're going to have me shot, is it came out in 2023.
Oh, dear.
But it's old people and an old song, and it... Please don't kill me.
I'll have you taken away and flogged for that.
Okay, that's all right. Okay, I can take that.
So when I say flogged, I mean sold...
I think you're going to have to boil me down from my constituent components, because I don't think anybody's going to buy, the honest, he's greater than the sum of his parts spiel. He is the sum of his parts.
A really crap superhero, Gestalt man.
That was good. I like that.
Thank you very much.
I'm kind of stuck with the memory when we did biology that inside each and every one of us is enough iron to make 1 6-inch nail.
Yeah.
So that's my value.
Wow.
So after my ramblings,
one 6-inch nail and a couple of basins full of water.
And some stuff to maybe cook your food in.
Some lard.
Yeah. And no, I was thinking more of my head turned upside down for boiling purposes. Hey!
We could use that as a wok.
Anyway. So I've started with that weird ramble. And I think what we're going to have to do is kind of pretend that we did the same homework and understood the task in hand. And I'm sure the professional you are, this is all going to happen seamlessly.
Yes, so you're going to be expecting me just to make shit up on the fly. You do what you like. You just. I am. I'm the Padawan. Oh, that's an old nursery rhyme, isn't it? Knick knack Padawan.
Yeah, give the. Actually,
give Vader a bone.
Don't know. See, that just became a quick single entendre for me. I don't want to go down there. I don't feel very well after that. Anyway, carry on.
Anyway, yeah. Before that becomes a double.
Yeah.
So my opening act.
Yes.
I've gone back to one of my old favourites from. I was going to say childhood, but it's probably teenhood, early teenhood. Bo Diddley.
There's no way Bo Diddley wasn't going to feature in this.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, who am I going to open with? And then I initially opened with the guy that's at second place. But then I thought, no, I don't see Bo following him if he's in full form. Right. But we'll start with Bo.
Yeah.
And he can still get the crowd going. And of course, we're going to have to get him backed by his old pal Clifton James, who was also in one of my fantasy bands during the series. So that classic rhythm guitar and that classic diddly beat is going to be grooving like Billy-O. Album-wise, when we first did this in the rock and roll show, I recommended the eponymous debut, Bo Diddley by Bo Diddley, but I'm not this time.
Yeah.
This time I'm going to offer the Gunslinger album. Bo Diddley is a gunslinger on Chess Records, but I don't actually remember the date of that. So if I just sort of mumble a bit while I type away.
You mumble a bit while I talk about Bo Diddley, and I think it's really impressive.
Thanks so much. You do
that Bo Diddley didn't name his second album Bo Diddley 2, because I think that's the way these gadgies rock and roll, don't they? They just go.
1960 for Bo Diddley as a gunslinger.
1960.
And
those are the days.
You talk about Dolly Parton and her doing a cover of Let It Be. Bo does a really good cover of 16 Tons. Right.
That's a great song.
Which is maybe not the song you do associate with.
No.
It's an interesting sort of blues country cross.
Mm-hmm.
But other highlights from the album I would recommend you treat your ears to would be things like Cadillac and Ride On Josephine. It's a cracking re-album.
Right.
And well worth the price of admission.
So I'm really enjoying this. The juxtaposition already of Dolly Parton and Bo Diddley is fascinating. I'm thinking about the behind the stage chats that are going on. Cool, nice. So
there'll be some nonsense behind stage, that's for sure.
I'm certainly hoping so. So, do you want me to waffle on some more?
Yeah, go waffle on and give us your number 2.
So my number 2 is a bloke whose name I think you'll probably be familiar with is Bob Dylan. He featured in my folk bands, and I think the track that I talked about that I thought was really impressive. I mean, all his tracks are impressive, to be fair. Blowing in the Wind. I mean, how he was so young when he wrote this stuff, and he still, he just brought out just incredible stuff.
He was. I mean, it was. It was a hell of a beginning. You know, I mean, I wouldn't say all his tracks are great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what an artistic flowering, you know, at such an early age.
Yeah.
But I guess in Bob Dylan's living the full life, you know, because he's mid-80s now.
Yeah.
If not a bit more. We've got to see what happens or how far that. I hesitate to use the word genius. It's overused. You know, it's like a worn-out old sock these days. Everyone
Bob Dylan
uses it because
Bob Dylan, you're forgiven.
But he's one of those people who's closer to genius than most.
Yeah.
And that full life has let us see the extent to which that can carry a person.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't listened to every album he's ever made, but I'm pretty sure they won't all be 5-star albums. Although I think most of the 60s were.
I remember...
maybe the early part of the 70s, you know.
The first version of Mr. Tambourine Man that I ever heard was by the Byrds.
Me too.
And then when I heard him sing it, I thought, what is this rubbish? And it was him that wrote it, and
That's it. And I mean, the first version of All Along the Watchtower I got to know was Jimi Hendrix.
Right.
And when I heard Dylan's version, kind of similar, I'm like, it's all right. It's, you know, I'll give him marks for trying.
So there was,
but it's nothing like the original, you know.
Yes.
What do you mean that is the original? Yeah.
I know, and there's so much of that in this life of going, sorry, what? Doesn't compute, and I've got a couple of those sort of moments when I'm talking a bit later, but we've got Blown in the Wind from came out as a single in 1962. Then the times they are changing. And that is
another great classic.
Brilliant song, and it's kind of slightly gut-wrenching in that they didn't. So
yeah, maybe not in the time. Well,
we've still got time,
but not in the way people would have wanted.
So then something altogether different, which was slightly less. It was, I don't know, sort of less universal. I mean, his songs, those two, they were so massive. You know, they were existential, weren't they? So yeah, Like a Rolling Stone came out in 1965, and the audience will go, "Yeah, I know this. I love this." But then, James, what I've done for you is I've got some other gadgets coming on the stage with him. And so, you know, actually, just talking about Bob Dylan and his sort of ubiquitous career of everythingness, I was gobsmacked to find him being a DJ on Radio 2 at one stage of the not too distant past, thinking,
yes, I remember that.
How did that, but yeah, just... He was there.
Was that in the 90s or the early 2000s?
Yeah, it's Bob Dylan on the radio talking. Yeah, so I couldn't not have him singing with Jeff Lynne, Roy Orbison, Tom Petty and George Harrison.
Oh, the Wilburys.
The Travelling Wilburys, which is a fantastic name for a band. And it was fantastic for me, anyway, to revisit a couple of their tracks, and one that actually they both came out from the same album, which is called The Travelling Wilburys Volume 1, and they both came out in 1988. And the first one is The End of the Line, and the next one is Handle with Care. Both just brilliant, and it's kind of folky and just. Maybe a bit Americana-y, but it's just... Yeah,
the Wilburys, I was just about to say before you said it yourself. I'd look at them these days as classic Americana.
Yeah, but Brilliant stuff.
And there was a second album as well.
I think, was it Volume 2?
No, it was Volume 3.
Clever. They like to keep it.
Yeah.
Don't tell them your name, Pike. I'm hoping that would get our crowd into frenzy, because we've got a whole host of folk from 20th century music wanged on the stage.
We've got a Beatle in there as well. We've got another Beatle in there, actually.
Ringo.
You had Paul and Ringo.
Yeah.
Helping Dolly out.
Yeah. So I think I've got a bit of a Beatles thing going on. I hadn't quite realised. Nicely spotted.
Well, you're running out of them quickly.
Yeah.
You've only got one left, and then you'll have to do the pretend ones that didn't make it.
Oh. Anyway, over to you, James.
Oh, thanks very much. So my second guy on my lineup. This comes from the punk show, and this was my drummist, Christopher.
Okay.
My punk drummist. Can you remember who that was?
I remember who it was from. The Pogues.
How you make that symbol on camera.
Yeah. I see. It's more not the guys. Relax. Okay. It's one of those. What's the name of the drum?
A bowdrum.
Yes. So
it's the Celtic drum with the circular frame.
Yeah, it's funny how that never caught on, doing the invisible bowron.
Miming the bowron is maybe perhaps best not done in public.
I think not. No, I think that is wise. So there we are. We've got the Pogues.
Indeed, we have, because of course Shane, being the wee scamp he is, he sneaked off and let the rest of the band in the back door.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, he'll be getting to telling off after the show, once we sober him up.
I'm just thrilled at the image of the Pogues just bowling up on the stage with. I mean, if you look at my recollection is that they varied in the amount of people who were in the band by the day.
Yeah, I mean, you had your staples, didn't you?
Yeah.
But, so they've just rambled their way in the back door like kids sneaking into the cinema, and just taken over the stage.
Yeah.
Now, last time in that punk show, I was recommending the first album, Red Roses for Me. So this time I'm going to do something which is entirely predictable and numerically progressive. I'm going to recommend the second album.
Clever. I see what you did there.
Which is a really perk your ears up granny kind of title. It's Rum, Sodomy and the Lash. So depending on when Granny wakes up, it will give her away as to what she got up to when she was younger.
Fantastic. That image will that will stay with me forever. Thank you.
Thank you. But just to highlight a few tunes, you know what? I always quite liked the way that album opened with the Sickbed of Cucullin.
Right.
I've probably murdered that pronunciation as well. But A Pair of Brown Eyes and Sally McLennan were other great sing-alongs, if you remember rambling home after the pub as students.
Man.
And then on side 2, you've got his singing partner's dad contributing to side 2 at the beginning. So if you think of Fairy Tale of New York, and his singing partner being Kirsty MacColl, it's Dirty Old Town, which was written by Ewan MacColl.
Right, I didn't know that.
So Dirty Old Town. I mean, I thought for years it was a Pogue song, and then one day I found out otherwise, and I was completely gobsmacked.
Well, if you observe, my gob is smacked.
Mm.
Yeah, and what a brilliant link as well.
Yeah, I mean, if we could afford it one day, it'd be nice to get that, smacked, on camera. It would make for a great sound effect.
Thank you, Doctor. So is she coming on stage as well for this gig?
Might as well, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic, yeah.
But the ending track is, I think that's a great way to finish as well, their set. and the band played Waltz and Metrodeon, which again wasn't a Pogue song. It was written by Eric Bogle, who's a Scottish folk singer-songwriter.
Yeah. Probably the best anti-war song of all time. Possibly.
Must be a contender, I would have thought.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Listen, if you're doing nothing else, dear listener, go and listen to that immediately after listening to this. In fact, go and do it now. Just, I'll see you in a bit.
No, don't go and do it now.
Yeah, don't do what Jim says. Yeah, because you'll forget what you were doing. I mean, if you're our age, you'll just think, "Why did I go into the kitchen?"
This doesn't look like my kitchen.
That's why you'll always find me in the kitchen at parties, standing there going, "I don't know why I'm here."
Going through the cupboards.
Yes.
I'm hungry. Why have you got nut bugger all to eat? Turn that noise down.
Which takes us back to North East London Polytechnic. Did I ever tell you? I went to North East London Polytechnic where we sang Pogue songs on the way home.
So did I. That's amazing.
That's incredible. What did you study?
Psychology.
Oh my giddy aunt! So did I.
Oh, who'd have thought? What are the chances? Of that, eh?
And what year were you there?
Oh, my first, second, and third year.
Yeah, that's good. I was there for some of mine. 1986 to 89, I think.
It was 6 to 9.
Yeah, so those are the days. You tell kids about those days where
they don't believe you.
You go to the pie and mash shop in the East End and you buy.
I never got around to doing that.
The pie and mash. They used to give you pie and mash, and then they'd give you green stuff that I think was supposed to be mushy peas, but it was like...
It's what they call liquor, isn't it?
It was horrible. It was just like somebody had a a flu epidemic and...
It's like snotters.
It was. It tastes like snotters. Me, because I'm obviously a connoisseur, and I understand that snot is a complex carbohydrate, and so it is kind of good for you. Yeah. So guys, not only do you get music, you get dietary advice here.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Social history. This shows an education, Chris.
It is. It's incredible. The amount that we give is just... It's astonishing.
It's over the top, it is.
I feel a tear forming in my glass eye. So...
Now, before it mists over...
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say something about my next band that was going to...
Oh, go on. That's where I was going as well.
Okay, shall I do that? So, of course, as far as bands go, I thought the Beach Boys. I included them in
harmonies.
I included them in electronica, in the electronic previous thing that we did, because not only did they play the theremin, they invented their own theremin which I thought was just astounding.
What a bunch of smart asses!
I know. So that was on Good Vibrations 1966. So they've come on stage after the Pogues. Oh, can you imagine Beach Boys after the
follow that lot?
I mean, just So,
I mean, before you carry on, I mean, talking about following the Pogues, this might be a modern myth and it might be apocryphal, but I remember hearing stories about Guinness taps at the front of the stage, or barrels of Guinness at the front of the stage. And you know what? That's probably a crock of shit. But I'd buy that. A part of me wishes for it to have been true.
I love that image. Matt, can you imagine? And then on come the Beach Boys.
Yeah, it's just carnage of broken glasses.
What happened to the audience? You seem to have broken them.
They're feral. I'm not going out to play in front of them.
Yes. No, we want to sing nice songs about the beach and surfing and stuff. Oh dear, it's all got a bit dark. People sloshing about in their own vomit. But yeah. So there they are, playing Good Vibrations, which, as we know, came out in 1966. It came out as a single at that time, and it was squeezed onto the brilliant album Pet Sounds that came out later in that year. So, he says, turning the page over to discover that he'd already looked at the first page. Is
that the extent of your homework this week, Christopher?
Listen, my homework is fantastic. It's thorough. It's
fantastic. It's amazing.
You're singing Danger Mouse.
Hey.
Danger. Anyway, so my next song that I would ask them to play is Sloop John B, which for some reason it really touched my heart as a young person, and just thought this notion of all these guys going off on a little boat and just starting off with high adventure and then just thinking, guys, this is a bit shit, isn't it? It's awful. And but the thing that I didn't know, so anyway, that came out in 1966. I didn't know it had been stolen from a Bahamian folk song from Nassau that was called John B. Sales, that was written in 1916. So I just thought the Beach Boys had come up with that. So
yeah, see, nothing's really original, is it?
No. So the next track they're going to play is I mean, the Beach Boys are kind of like a real fancy band for me, and the next song is one that just took me to another place of imagination that maybe Corby wasn't as exotic as I thought it was. And so this song, California Girls, again, it came out in 1965, and it was on the album. Oh, there were sweeter times, Jim. The album was called Summer Days, and in brackets, Summer Nights, if you know what I mean. I've added on my own.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, with an exclamation mark on the back, just in case you didn't get the...
I don't know what all that means, but I heard that's what people do.
Yeah, nudge, wink, yeah. I think hanky and indeed panky was perhaps suggested in that.
Steamy Windows.
Steamy Windows. What did they play? They played the ukulele, didn't they? They would,
Steamy Windows.
Yeah, Steamy Windows.
They played the chamois.
So... I'm wasted, absolutely wasted. So
I'm glad one of us is.
The next track...
Because we've got to have an excuse for this.
This is perfect. This is sewn together. It's like sort of podcast gold, isn't it? It's like...
Oh, you can't write this shit.
Like Rumpelstiltskin. No, Rumpelstiltskin. Somebody turned something into gold, didn't they? Wasn't
that King Midas?
There was Rumpelstiltskin turned... Anyway, enough... That was a tangent I didn't expect to become a cul-de-sac quite so quickly. So God Only Knows. A brilliant love song, so people are getting a bit sort of smoochy as they slosh around in the Pogues Guinness afterwards. Again, that was from their album Pet Sounds in 1966. And then the last song had to be Ba 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 Ram Ba Ba, which
possibly their greatest sing-along,
which I think caused consternation for every girl called Barbara between 1965 and 2000.
Yeah, whenever the immature kid in the class stopped pointing and going,
that would have been me, James. That would have been me.
Yeah, so that would be about 1995 it stopped being done.
But thankfully ADHD hadn't been invented at that time, so people didn't really know what the hell was going on. They would just point at me and say, Christopher could study harder or something. Why aren't we allowed...
Bad influence. If only he'd apply himself.
Why aren't we allowed to use a taser? Because it hadn't been invented yet. All you had was the blackboard rubber, and you had to make do with that. Yeah.
Where's that cat o' nine tails? I'm sure I left it around here somewhere.
Whip crack. So that was it. That's my Beach Boys bit of the gig.
Is it?
Yeah.
So I better have a look and see who I've got rolling up to take over the stage next.
So ba ba ba
Right,
ba ba. All right, sorry.
No, after all this, drunken carousing and California and gadding about, I'm bringing it back down to a sane level here with a bit of class.
Right, good. Thank you.
Straight from my jazz band.
Oh, nice.
I think it was last week, wasn't it?
There's a juxtaposition.
Straight from the jazz band last week, we have Mr. Oscar Peterson.
Right. Well, we need that. We do need that. I mean,
so this is going to calm things down a wee bit, and just before they probably start to take off again. Now, I've also because I'm most familiar with Oscar as part of a trio, or leading a trio rather than being part of it. So I've picked a couple of guys out of previous shows to be his wingmen.
All right.
So we've got Mark Knopfler on guitar.
Oh, wow.
And Joey Allison. Remember who he is?
He made bread, didn't he?
No.
No.
Joey's bread.
Yeah, I've obviously gone off on some kind of weird.
But he was the drummer with Buddy Holly and the Crickets. So I thought they'll provide a.
That sounds fantastic. So I'm immediately
sympathetic. Support for.
I've got
Oscar
Peggy Sue in my mind and Mark Knopfler doing something. Oh wow!
And I'm sure Oscar can take Peggy Sue into some weird and wonderful territory.
Fantastic.
Previously, I was recommending Oscar Peterson plays the George Gershwin's songbook, but I'm not going to recommend that one this time. I'm going to recommend probably more than one, I think. We're going to start with Oscar Peterson plays Irving Berlin.
Right.
And from that one, we're going to take Cheek to Cheek.
Right.
Which is just going to be one of Irving's classics. And I'm basically going through the Oscar Peterson plays everyone else's songbooks albums.
Nice.
And then we have Oscar Peterson plays Cole Porter. And I think we have to go with Night and Day.
This is brilliant.
It's just such a wonderful.
Oh, Jim, this is
swimmy track.
Fantastic.
It just has you swaying. Now, after that, where am I going? Oh, Duke Ellington. So Oscar Peterson plays Duke Ellington.
Right.
Going to take a couple off of here, I think.
Yeah.
Because we've got Sophisticated Lady,
right,
which has got to be done. And then I Got It Bad and That Ain't Good. But
great name for a chat. I've not heard it, but
yeah, that's it. But to finish up, we're gonna finish up with Oscar's version of Duke Ellington's theme tune.
Yeah.
Which was written by his creative partner Billy Strayhorn. So take the A Train to finish, because it's just got a great riff, and it's one of these songs that really is all about that riff. But the noodly bits in between are still fun, are still really enjoyable. And that is going to take me to the end of Oscar's little stint on the stage.
But I'm thinking with the Mark Knopfler sewn in there as well.
I can just imagine his guitar being, really sympathetic to Oscar's piano playing.
Or just I mean that is the art of jazz, isn't it? This sort of, I mean, we talk about symbiosis a lot, but that's what jazz is. It's just blending instruments, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
It's probably the definition of improvisation in art. And Knopfler could cope with that.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, nice. So that will give people just a...
so that's given the venue staff time to quietly sneak on stage and sweep the empties up. Maybe get rid of the odd dead member of the audience, you know.
And replace the Guinness barrels, obviously, with
That's right. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
I just have this image now of Oscar, you know, playing with one hand and leaning over. Go and fill it up for his son. In his best, you know, sort of British accent.
I say, ding dong. So, obviously,
right.
to bring back after that beautiful interlude of I know, gentle, occasionally dazzlingly skillful stuff.
I'm sorry to have sullied things with sanity there.
No,
please take us away again.
The Kinks, my friend, the Kinks.
Oh.
Now, in your life, and I feel sorry for these people, you may not have heard the album from 1964, The Kinks' Greatest Hits. Now, The Kinks' Greatest Hits from 1964 is the greatest album of all time. And so...
Greater than your
shut up.
Wombles box set?
No, obviously not. No.
I just had to clarify.
Yeah, it's this is just waffle. I like it, but Wombles box set. In fact, why aren't the Wombles here? Why aren't James? Where are the Wombles?
You could have bought them anytime.
You've ruined my Christmas. Last Christmas. Anyway, so
sing, George.
On this album, you have got You Really Got Me. So that's what they're going to crash into at the beginning. You Really Got Me. So that'll get the crowd back into a frenzy as their feet are sticking to the floor with the immovable Guinness. Why aren't more buildings made out of Guinness? I think they're... Then,
Guinness and cheese sandwiches.
And then the other greatest song of all time, which I have still got yet to realise, my moment where I go to a bridge in London and just lie on it as the sun goes down. Waterloo Sunset.
Oh, near the railway station.
So that's all. Yeah, that's the greatest song of all time as well. And then, obviously, once the sun has gone down, you have to consider All Day and All of the Night, which came in at number 2, but it was also on an EP, which they called Kink Size, which I thought was quite sweet, which came out in 1965. Kink Size, see what they did there? Kink Size, clever.
That's very good. That.
And then, obviously, because they got sloshed and sozzled and they fought like Oasis on stage at times, the last track would be Dead End Street, which was a social statement of the state of the world in the 1960s. There's a crack up in the ceiling and the kitchen sink is leaking, and it doesn't get much better than that. And that's how they all finish their set, just bringing it all together. But the Kinks, can you imagine?
The Kinks are a little bit like the musical version of British kitchen sink drama movies from the 60s.
Yes, real sort of black and white. Yeah.
They're like the musical accompaniment or the lyrical thread that goes along with that.
They were a real sort of social statement. I mean, they sang Lola, which was about a trans...
decades ahead of its time.
A trans woman, and it got it into the consciousness of the nation. It was brilliant. I mean, it was clunky by today's standards, but it was still getting folk to think.
Yeah, I think even today there's probably still you could probably still associate bravery with lyrics like that today.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with the antipathy towards all sorts of groups at the moment.
I know. Yeah. If you're not in the main group, you're out. But anyway, so the Kinks, so they might come on and do an encore with Lola, and that would drive my sticky crowd into a frenzy. I'm
not sure where you've gone now with that.
Guinness. I'm talking about Guinness. You
Oh, of
filthy-minded
course,
hoodlum. God, why do I hang out with you? You're such a dirtbag.
Because you're like a smut bucket like yourself.
I am. Yes, good. Yes. Okay. So, right. Who the what the have you got for us?
What? So, fourth act, eh? Well, that sounds rather Shakespearean, doesn't it? The fourth act. I've gone back to my country show and taken my headliner from that one. My singist, Nancy Griffith.
Oh, nice.
And we're going to very much do in the round with some other members of bands that I had through the series.
Sure.
So we're going to drag Gillian Welsh on stage, also from the country show, and we're going to drag along Kate Rusby from the folk show. She was my singist for the folk show.
Oh, what? That's fantastic.
Yeah, so they're going to basically recreate what was called Trio. Do you remember hearing about Trio as a...
I don't.
A female threesome of singers?
No.
Right, now, that was, I think it was in the 80s. And it was basically Dolly Parton, Emmylou Harris and Linda Ronstadt.
Right.
Got together, and they did 2 or 3 albums together. So it's just a case of recreating that vibe.
Yeah.
Getting the 3 female voices to harmonise. But I want to start this off with something from Oh Brother Where Art Thou? And this is Down to the River to Play.
Right.
This is the song with the sirens. The sirens at the river that seduce Clooney and his pals.
That is a wild film.
It is a wild film, and I watched that clip this morning on YouTube, and I'm due to watch the whole film again soon. Surely it's been several years now, but that's it's just such a great scene, you know, and lyrically, actually, I'm talking bollocks here. It's not Down to the River to Pray. It's Don't Leave Nobody But the Baby is the song I'm fumbling towards.
Right.
And in the film, that's Emmylou Harris, Alison Krauss, and Gillian Welsh.
Right.
So we actually have one of the voices from that song in the trio here.
Yeah.
And that's just such a rich soundtrack.
I'm just laughing at the fact that they've come on after the Kinks. Just thinking, Jim, we should run concerts, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
with piles of dead people.
If you're living or dead, you can still play.
Yeah, we're not deadest. No,
that's it. Yeah. We'll just get a Ouija board and dial them up and see what we're doing on Sunday.
Dial a corpse.
That's it. Now, in terms of musical recommendations, now with Nancy being a big cheese on stage, in terms of the main voice, I went for one of her compilations last time, but not this time. This time I've got to go for her debut album. There's a Light Beyond These Woods.
Right.
Because the first song on it, on side 2 rather, the first song on side 2, she does it on 2 or 3 different albums, but it's just one of these great story songs, you know.
Yeah.
You've spoken before about Ode to Billy Joe, and we've spoken about several others, but There's a Light Beyond These Woods, Mary Margaret, and it's about her growing up and her best friend and her first love, and you know, she goes away and then comes home, and they start reminiscing because the first love dies, you know, during the song.
Right.
but it's just one of these great numbers. You get into the characters, and it takes you away.
Yeah, I need to listen to that.
I mean, it's a fabulous album. Although, as I've said before, slightly biased. But I'm going to stick with these early albums of hers.
I'm still at the Queen's Hall. I'm still watching this, and I'm still feeling this, and thinking, "Crikey, what have we done to this audience?"
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Trouble with Roses next. I'm going to have from the second album, her second album, Poet in the Window. I mean, these early ones are very, very singer-songwriter.
Why? Didn't I hear of an album called Poet in the Window? I mean, what a brilliant, brilliant name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. For her third album, Roseville Fair, I think we have to highlight there. I mean, I'll sit and listen to these albums back to back.
Right.
On the right day.
Yeah.
That takes us to 4 tunes. We've been doing 5 each.
Yeah.
I am going to pick out her live album, One Fair Summer Evening. She recorded or released 2 live DVDs, and this is the first one.
Right.
But the soundtrack is just fabulous, and I'm going for the last 2 songs as a segue. Love at the Five and Dime and Spin on a Red Brick Floor. It's just ordinary, everyday storytelling,
right,
about ordinary, everyday events, and how she's trying to get from one side of Austin and Texas to the other, and she has to change buses in the middle. And while she's waiting for the next bus, she nips into Woolworths and gets a Coke or something, and she says something like, just enough time to get a Coke and wink at the boys and get back on the bus. It's just such a playful sense of mischief as well.
I need songs like that. Those are songs that sort of glue me together.
This album, I had this album for years before I got the DVD. And One Fair Summer Evening is one of those instances where I've been able to actually restrain myself and pull back from the edge of that awful chasm, which means you've played it to death and it's never coming back to life.
Yeah.
Every so often I'll dig it out and I'll listen to it a couple of times in a row.
But not too many times as to spoil it.
And then it goes back in the box.
Yeah, good call.
So yeah, that's Nancy taking up the 4th space on my half of the run.
So I'm afraid I've gone noisy again. So
right. Who are you finishing with?
Right. So am I finishing with these guys? Have I got too many bands? I think I've got too many bands. God, I'm such an idiot, James.
This should be number 5.
Yeah, it should be number 5. Well, mind your own business, mate. So my number 5, number 6. Oh, damn. Right. So who would you choose? Right. So we've had all of this, and but there's a track that one of the bands plays that for me would be ideal at the end. So
one of your bands from the series we've just been doing.
Yeah, so I'm going to say, sorry, Stranglers, but not tonight. There wasn't enough space, guys, because I can't count to 5. Obviously, that was a big task. I didn't quite manage.
There's no room for any more heroes tonight.
No more heroes. Or ice picks. You got it that makes your ears burn. No, none of that.
Well, You know what?
Yeah.
They could have been busking enthusiastically outside the venue as people were leaving.
I think they do it very well as well. Yeah. So there they are busking as people are leaving. But sorry, guys, you didn't make it because we've got the Doors. And it's really funny. I kind of forgot how much I love the Doors. Because it's one of those bands you think, oh, maybe I just know one track and maybe so the track that I mentioned before was I sort of shoehorned them in, but with their keyboard player Ray Manzarek playing the keyboards with one hand and playing the bass with the other, which I think is pretty cool. That was when they were doing Riders on the Storm, which one of the greatest tracks. Like all my other songs, this was the greatest song of all time. So
you've got a few of them.
Yeah, I'm not very good at sort of separating things out. So following up for that, so we've got Riders and Storms that sort of brings people in. It just builds the atmosphere. So the Ha from Edinburgh comes into the building because you've got your Riders on the Storm.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Light My Fire, which came out in 1966, which just... I mean, just thinking about it, sort of sends me off into sort of slight frenzy, but, that's me. And then a song that, when I was a misogynist youth, as I think we all were, that I first...
That's how we were brought up, Christopher.
When I first heard it, I thought, yeah, this suits me fine because it is, hello, I love you, won't you tell me your name? Who says romance is dead? And that came out in 1968. I just remember thinking that was so cool. And I didn't know what misogyny was. And then I thought, oh, God. Anyway, now the next track, after sort of getting over that, I think people are still sloshed from the Guinness, I think. So... What we need is the Alabama song. Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. So this song was...
So now we've got Whiskey Optics on the stage as well.
Yeah, right. Show me the next whiskey bar is on the stage. Just help yourself. It was covered by David Bowie in 1978. Now, I thought theirs was the original version. But no, James, no. I was foolish and naive. Because the original version was by Bertolt Brecht in 1927 and written in German, which I don't have. The only thing I can say in German, in my defence, my lad, is Du bist ein Dickschwerg, which, as we all know, is you're a fat pygmy, which hasn't served me very well anywhere. So... the Alabama song, so that's helping people get through the Guinness and the whiskey that has now mysteriously appeared on stage. And then at the end, the song that came out in 1966 is 11 minutes and 41 seconds of the end. And if you don't think that's the greatest song of all time, apart from all the other greatest songs of all time, then... we can still be friends. You'll just be wrong. So, I'm thinking about this concert. I feel a little bit excited, I've got to say. But so anyway, so your band that comes on after that band that was my fifth, but was my sixth.
Yes, we might need to make a bit of space.
Yes.
This last Gadgie is no simple band. And this is where I'm cheating like buggery.
Yeah,
because rather than pulling from the fantasy bands we've been doing for the last 6 or 7 weeks, I'm pulling from one of the shows we did prior to starting that. So I've got Elvis headlining.
I just knew it.
Yeah. I mean, it's all fantasy stuff, so it's got to be done. And yeah, he's seen Shane McGowan let the Pogues in, sneak in the back door. So yeah, he's done the same.
Fantastic.
While everyone's been distracted and enjoying a gig, he's let the TCB band in, and he's let the rest of his guys in as well. So Joe Gersio and the orchestra have snuck in. There's Sweet Inspirations and the Jordanaires. So there's going to be a bit of banging and clattering while they all get set up on the stage.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've been to Queen's Hall at one point in the past. It's not the biggest of stages, so this will be really interesting.
What they've done is they've turned it into a rotating stage. So they actually got ready behind, and then the stage rotates, removing the doors, and then Elvis and all his entourage go badoof.
That's it, yeah. Badoof, wow. So we take down half the Queen's Hall.
We take down half the Queen's Hall, yeah.
But this is the only way I think I could have finished.
I agree. I didn't want to say, because I was thinking, surely Jim, somewhere, Elvis will appear. Elvis has not yet left the building.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just as they're closing the door again, the venue staff have to throw this old gadgie out from trying to sneak in the door. He keeps saying his name's Parker. So they shoo him away, and he freezes his tits off wandering the meadows trying to sell that stolen program for the show that he's managed to get.
Nice. You don't sound bitter about him at all.
I certainly am.
You are.
I've got the full set, bitter and twisted.
Bitter and twisted, yeah, and rightfully so.
Who knows? Without such a vampiric personality, as the Svengali figure in Elvis's life, perhaps the lifestyle wouldn't have been quite so destructive.
Yeah.
Perhaps he might have lived a bit longer. But perhaps maybe that would have just been prolonging torture.
So right. So, what I've got in my mind, right? So everybody's thinking, right, the Doors have just played the end, and everybody goes, "Well, that was fantastic. That was brilliant."
Yeah.
And then the stage
no one's following that, are they?
Turns, and it's Elvis.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you get the opening overture.
Oh man, what are we starting with?
Oh, what we're starting with, right. Well, I am just taking this playlist straight from Elvis in Memphis.
Uh-huh.
And 1969 recording. And this is on the back of the 68 special, where that was really the only significant rebellion that Elvis staged against the hold that Parker had over him.
Right.
But it carried on into the following year. And this album and several tracks from the same sessions that weren't included came out of this. And it's a brilliant moment in his career where he did what the hell he liked. He got the songs he wanted, he got the musicians he wanted, the studio he wanted, instead of kowtowing to this rapaciously greedy man.
Yeah.
So if I find the track listing, you know what? There's a bit of a message in here.
Yeah.
Of course, because we're going to have to start with "Only the Strong Survive."
Yeah.
It's just such a fabulous song.
It's a bit confrontational, basically saying,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw this whole album in. Actually, we'll treat like we'll cheat like hell.
Yeah.
And the whole album gets done.
Nice.
Plus some of the tracks from the sessions that didn't get included on the album. So there will be included in here things like "Gentle on My Mind" and "In the Ghetto."
I was listening to that the other day, just thinking, "That a fantastic song."
What a narrative.
Yeah.
And for its time as well. I mean, it would probably be just as prescient today.
It's such
given
a
the
short
circumstances.
song, and it takes you places that you don't
Yeah,
expect. So,
yeah. I mean, it's
yeah.
less than 3 minutes.
yeah, yeah.
But those same sessions, they gave us things like Kentucky Rain. Have you heard that?
No, I don't think I have. No.
Oh,
Jim,
you need to go and look this
Brilliant,
up.
brilliant.
And the other most well-known song to come out of those sessions would be Suspicious Minds. I mean,
Fantastic. I mean,
this was all done across, a couple of months, a few weeks in January and February of '69.
was it really?
And the quality that was coming out.
Yeah.
When he was allowed to actually just
Sort of take off
his way creatively.
take off the shackles.
Yeah. The shackles are removed. And
Yeah.
it's a very, very different animal.
So
that's how we're going to kick off the end of the gig.
right, that's gobsmacking.
Yeah. And then I think we should give the management of the venue a really, really nasty headache to finish and get everyone back on stage for the traditional sort of sing-along.
Agadoo.
Yeah, Agadoo.
Oh, God, that's Elvis's greatest.
Yeah. All 14 verses.
Yes, in Welsh.
With the theremin accompaniment.
Oh, I can see it now. Oh, man. So, there we are.
Yeah, indeed.
How'd you feel after that?
Oh, done in.
It feels like
What a night.
Yeah.
What a night it's been.
Yeah. I mean, I think we might have overspent a bit. I mean, let's have a look.
What? We've got to pay these folk. This is the music industry. We don't have to pay performers.
Of course we don't. Yes. Sponsored by Spotify. We could just... Sorry, Spotify. I'm sure your business model is very something or other. Over to you, James.
Yes. Well, that surely must bring us towards the end of this particular edition, young Christopher.
That has been brilliant. I've loved this. What a hoot. What do we want from our eager listener, viewer person from this?
We want the usual YouTube goodness.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think in the comments. Go back and listen to the old shows. When I say old, I mean just from the last few weeks where we did the fantasy bands according to genres. And pick your own and give us a song for each musician you pick in your fantasy bands so that we know what they're going to be like if we're not familiar with them.
And who would be at your fantasy gig? And where would your fantasy gig be?
Yeah.
And no, not in a muddy field. I'm not going to a muddy field, okay? Just no to muddy fields.
So, no Glasgow then?
No Glasgow, no. Yeah.
Right, festivals are out then.
Yeah. James, that was a laugh. That was an absolute hoot. I really enjoyed myself. So we've directed our people.
Hopefully someone else will enjoy it too.
Yeah, don't care about them. Just just an opportunity to hang out with the North East London Polytechnic fan club. That's brilliant.
Yeah. We're growing by the day.
Yeah. So shall we say goodbye?
Yes, let's.
Well, I've been Chris Young. This has been the Old Anorak radio TV thing show. Thanks for listening and watching, and till the next time, goodbye, and over to you, James, too.
And I've been Jim Lang, and as usual, don't forget to like and subscribe and all the other YouTube goodness.
Brilliant.
And
Okay.
we'll see you next time.
Farewell. Bye for now.